everyone, this is Brista.
I'm Joel.
And I'm Kathy.
And you're listening to the No Clue Podcast.
A space where we'll be having normal conversations that we have no clue what we'll talk about. Hablando de nuestras vidas cotidianas y de nuestras experiencias espirituales. 3 individuals finding our space into this universe.
Cheers.
What's up, guys?
Hello. Happy Sunday.
Definitely Sunday if you're drinking tea.
I'm drinking Waterloo. Not sponsored yet.
Yeah.
Refreshing.
It was a chilly Sunday. It's still a chilly Sunday because it's still Sunday. Chilly today.
Not here. It was sunny and bright. I loved it.
Aren't you darn lucky?
Yeah.
No, I still think it wasn't that cold today.
She lives on a different planet, like Pluto.
She was just complaining about how it was cold downstairs.
It's cold downstairs in the living room, but not outside.
But it was still cold enough.
Not in the living room. See, the living room always feels cold. I don't know why.
Menopause.
I think she's too young for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh damn.
That's right.
No, it's
Let's
okay.
forget how old she is.
El viejito es él, no yo.
No, gracias a Dios. No, todavía no. You're still
Yeah.
You're always going to be older, so that's a bright side on my end.
Well,
That's okay.
to me, you guys are both old.
Damn.
Yeah. I need to find a way to pick on her about that.
You can't.
Ain't no way. There's no way about it.
No.
We'll figure it out.
By the time you finally get it, you'll be 80.
God damn.
Dios lo permite. God will, and that'll be great. So what you guys did today?
Well, I had Reiki today.
Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go cleanse a house today.
What did you do?
I worked. I worked. You guys had fun. I'm not saying I have fun at work, but different kind of fun.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I got pomegranates. They did not put on the keyboard. Delicious.
How was your Reiki? Sorry, you were going to say something?
No.
Reiki was good. It was good. I had Reiki with my mom. We both went for Reiki.
Was it the cleansing Reiki / type of thing?
No, it's just Reiki.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
It's Reiki.
Oh, both together at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's translating.
No.
No?
No, but I mean, there's no speaking going on when it comes to Reiki.
Mentor?
What she does is she walks you through to
our mentor.
There you go.
Thank you. Water.
She walks you through the breathing, and then but that's it. But my mom, she gets it pretty good actually.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna. Well, I'm not thinking. I'm going to be making an appointment with our Kathy.
Our mentor.
Mentor. For my mom.
Really?
Yeah, she asked me when they got back from their vacation for me to set up an appointment with her.
Oh, that's not gonna be until January.
It is.
Yeah.
No.
You know what I want to do with our mentor? Joelle, ever since you mentioned that you got your birth chart reading with her, I want to do mine too. I'm curious. I'm curious.
It's interesting. Um, oh, and she did well. I ended up going up to I ended up going to I ended up going to her so she could actually go over and stuff like that instead of you
Mm-hmm.
reading it, and she pretty much explains it to you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so it's pretty cool. So it'll be virtual for you now unless you decide to move here. And then it'll just be a lot easier and closer.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, if you guys have some spare change to help, make this move possible, I'll take it.
let me just rent a U-Haul or Enterprise. Just drive it all the way over here. Bristol will take care of a couple of things. You're in.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Hmm. I like how that sounds.
I'll help with
Being
unload.
being nice and smooth.
I'll help unload the truck.
Oh. No, you're gonna help build the house.
Damn, it'll take me a year or two. We only
No.
do what?
I went to go cleanse a house today.
That's fun.
Yeah, so
Go.
it was actually my sister's house. It went well. Last week she had messaged me that she saw uh a tall, skinny, dark shadow with a hat, a cowboy hat, not just any hat, cowboy hat. Um, and that it was causing her anxiety. Um, so that's what I went to go do today. I went to go check that out. um, and so I cleansed the house. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house. Um, and so I went to go cleanse that space out, as well as my sister and her boyfriend. So it was very interesting.
Nice.
I called on my tia Brisa for assistance, and she was able to help me pinpoint, some of the areas that needed more attention than others. So my tia Brisa did confirm the tall man with the hat, and also when I was cleansing my sister and her boyfriend, a child came forth, and actually it was my sister who noticed this child first. Then it was I who was like, yeah, I noticed him as well. And then my sister kept telling me that this tall man with the hat kept wanting to be acknowledged, but honestly, I did not feel his energy. I could not pinpoint, where he was. Which is when I called Tia Brisa for help, and she also confirmed también que he wanted to be acknowledged.
So it's probably just an old spirit roaming around, or does he belong to her?
No, I want to say it was like what did you say earlier, Tia?
It felt like he's was there before. Like
Yeah,
if
residual,
como
did you say? Did I
mhm
use that wrong?
mhm
Mm-hmm. Um, with the kid, I'm not really sure. I want to say they were there too. Um, but we got that cleansed. I actually learned uh, a protection symbol today. I didn't know that. Yeah.
She taught it to me too.
She gave me an example. First, I overdid it. I did it too big. But it's go big or go home, right? Um so I did those in the mirrors of each room and bathroom. Um but other than that, at first when I went in, the energy in the house was very, ¿cómo se dice? como mucha presión, muy encerrado,
Opinion.
muy
Stagnant.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes, thank you. Um, y ya el último, o sea, una gran diferencia, like it, you just felt like you were able to breathe, like actually breathe, you know, and it felt calmer and just airier, just more free. More free, more like peaceful.
It
So I
felt
was
more
very,
relaxed.
yes, more relaxed, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very proud of myself today. I will say that. I was very proud of myself.
That's
Um,
good.
because I was very nervous about it. I woke up feeling nervous about it. The only other house I've cleansed is my own. And even with my own, I was nervous. I was like second guessing myself. Pero no, my tia had explained to me prior, before entering the house, I had to, put myself in a bubble of protección and ask my guides to protect me and guide me. And that's exactly what I did before entering the home. I put this bubble around me and asked to be protected. And um, that's it was good. I'm proud. I'm also proud of my tia. Very proud of my tia today. She was able to feel all this energy via the phone. Like, oh my God, no. And not even that. She immediately was like, you know, my father lives with my sister. And she was like, is your dad's room all the way in the back of the house? And I was like, yes. And then, like, almost as if she was there with me, she was like, is his bed in front of the mirror? Like, I see. And I was like, yes. And then she's like, how? I mean, I was shocked. She was shocked with herself too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was really cool that,
How did your sister feel after you were done? Like, did she feel a difference?
yeah, she did.
'Cause I mean,
Um,
she's. It seems like she has the ability to connect.
mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was asking her about as well. Like, when did she started noticing? Has it always been like a forever thing, or is it a most recent thing? And she said it was more recent. She did say that she started noticing last week when she saw the tall, skinny guy with the hat. Um, and that she saw the kid. She was really shocked when I saw him as well. She was like, but how? She was like, how did you see him? She was like, how'd you know it was a kid? And I was like, I don't know, I just saw an image in my head. But no, she felt good. She felt good with the energy. She felt more calm, more free. It's just como, like I've been explaining in our previous episodes. I said a veces our own thoughts and fears that we tend to project out, y nos asustamos más. And but other than that, she said that the house felt different. It felt more light, and so did her boyfriend. Her boyfriend, said that he felt more, free, more positivity in the home. So I'm very glad.
it's good. I'm glad that went well.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Me
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, yeah, she shocked, I think, us both with,
Yeah, it was shocking because, well, for me, because mm, you have to just trust what you're being led to.
mm-hmm,
And we were at the store when you called me. I was at
mm-hmm,
the store,
yeah.
and I feel sorry for the cash register because me miraba like I was going crazy. And she was putting things in the cart. But in Wegmans they don't give bags anymore. She
Yeah.
was putting the stuff in the shopping cart, and she's there looking at me, and as I'm trying to tell you. a little bit of what to do and stuff like that. Like, what were we talking about? Oh, the guy. We were talking about the guy and the kid.
The guy.
And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't feel the kid, but I do feel the guy. Like, I do feel an older person because there was an older
Yeah.
person type feeling
Yeah.
como,
Mm-hmm.
oh, como si,
The
como dices tú, it was
grandfather.
like a grandfather type
See, I
feel.
did feel like a
And
grandfather.
she was putting the stuff in the cart and she was just looking at me. And then
Do you
Pancho
hear?
came with a beard. No.
No,
No.
I didn't
Mm-mm.
see a beard. The grandfather, he didn't have facial hair.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were putting this. So he was trying to put the stuff and like push the cart forward, and the girl was just there, like just looking at me, and I'm like, okay, I got to start walking.
Has a story to tell.
And as we were walking out the store, there was more people, and I tried to not to talk too loud, but I mean,
Yeah. Trying
you
to be
know,
discreet.
um, and then I got into the car and we got home, and that's when I stayed out in the driveway in the car, and that's when I try to connect a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then that's when I just eh, my I stayed in the car by myself, and then I just started to breathe, and I closed my eyes. I try to relax and just connect into the space,
Yeah.
and
And you did
that's
just that,
when.
literally.
Hmm.
Because you outlined like his how his room looked without even ever being
Hmm.
there or being
No,
shown the
I know.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that's when for some reason, I just kept seeing and hearing bed mirror, and then like portal, and I'm like, oh. So that's when I asked you, like, is your dad's bed like in front of the mirror? The mirror is somewhere close to the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And as you was walking to the back, and then I saw that that was the farthest room to the back, I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. Because I had told when she had mentioned to me that she was gonna go over there, and no, we had talked about it, right?
We
And
had
I
talked
said,
about
oh yeah, you should probably just go cleanse, and you start from
Mm-hmm.
the father's room. When
Yeah.
I said the father's furthest room, I was gonna tell her that it was her father's room,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't say anything because I was just afraid to be wrong.
Yeah. No, and it
And
does stop us.
and it's actually her father's room, that it's
Mm-hmm.
in to the far end.
Yeah.
It's the room to the far end.
Yeah.
And that's for me. And for me, para o sea, that today was a lot of confirmation for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's also helping me as well to
Just
believe in myself and to grow as
Yeah.
well.
It built your
And
confidence.
oh no, yes, yes, it gives
Yeah.
you that boost.
Yes.
It gives you that boost.
Yeah.
And then when we did the walk, when you were done and we did the walkthrough,
Mm-hmm. Because I
and I
asked
asked you
her
to go
if
in,
I,
it
I had
felt.
sorry. Yeah, I had
Oh my
asked
God.
you if it felt like if I cleansed properly, like if I got
Mhm,
rid of any energy that, didn't belong in that house, that doesn't
mhm.
belong to them. And so she was just confirming and I was just like, I did it.
Yeah. No, and I just felt really uneasy still in her dad's room.
Yay.
And
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah, it's
I
true.
once she got into the closet, and I mean, all this time I had my eyes closed with my hand out to the phone. um
Yeah. She
I
had
felt
sorry, Jen.
I
Before she had said I'm gonna have my eyes closed, and then she asked me if I was in the closet. Wow, I literally had stepped my foot in the closet, and I was like, no
Mhm.
way. I was like, how did you do that? I was like, no way.
Yeah. And then and she had mentioned that she was in the closet, I'm like, okay, I need you to stay in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I saw the little kid. And I saw the little kid,
Mm-hmm.
así, como así
Yeah.
sentado in like in a corner,
Mm-hmm. On the left
and
side of
mhm,
the back of the
of the
closet. Yeah.
back room. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
it made me really tear up because I mean a little kid since just
Yeah.
in that position,
Mm-hmm.
it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started calling for my guides to help. Um, and then I started feeling the men and
Mm-hmm.
in the room, in the closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While she was doing that, I also started closing my eyes, and I also called forth my guides, and my archangels. And that's when I had my eyes closed is when I felt something standing like right in front of me, like
Mhm.
aquí, like bien cerquitas de mí. And it just felt like this tall energy just standing right in front of me. And I started taking a couple deep breaths, and I was asking my guides for light, for um una luz, pues, para que me enseñara quién estaba al frente de mí. Y es cuando
Mhm.
vi, o sea, la forma del señor alto con with the hat, you know just long, tall, skinny guy. And I was like, oh, because I wasn't able to see him prior. And even
Mhm.
in the photo
Mhm.
that she had sent a week ago, I didn't feel or see him. What I
Mhm.
felt was just a whole bunch of
Sickness.
anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like a whole bunch of
This. Yeah.
anxiety.
Mhm.
Um, just I don't want to say yucky, but that's the only way I could, like,
Mhm.
yucky energy.
Yeah. Mhm.
And so she was asking her guides for assistance, and I was too, and I was like, I'm sorry, but you're not welcomed here. You need to go. um but so we were in that room for a good couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the interesting part of it is that as I was trying to connect and trying to do all of this, I was telling Kati that my whole body just felt so warm, so warm.
Really hot. It felt really hot in
Yeah,
there.
it was really hot. I
Mm-hmm.
don't, and I mean, and as soon as I felt that, I have felt that my guides had taken this man and the little kid, and started to feel the closet more relaxed, more at ease.
Yeah,
I started
I feel.
feeling the
Uh-huh.
cooler temperature, the
Yeah,
temperature of my room.
yeah, that's
it,
what I was
it
gonna
was
say.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's something that helps a lot with your it gives you that little boost of confidence.
Yeah, it really did. I genuinely felt really proud of myself. I had no fear going in. I made sure that I asked for the protection and the guidance that I needed. Um and I just felt overall very proud of myself, very confident.
Mhm.
Tired because it
Oh,
was a
see.
big space and it was just me.
Mhm.
But I will say, cuando terminé y me senté un ratito and just admire my work, just admire the fact that I cleansed the space, and it was okay for me to ask for help, and I got that help, and I just still felt very proud. But I heard children laughing. I
Mhm.
just heard children laughing and like playing around, and it just felt more peaceful to me. And I was letting my sister know. I was like, I think we removed what needed to be removed. I was like, because I just hear kids laughing, like almost. Se me escuchaba como, when you go past like a playground, o sea, caminando or driving by, and you just hear kids laughing, and
Mhm.
así se me escuchaba, and it just brought me like happiness. I just felt peaceful hearing that. Y hasta le pregunté a mi tía. I was like, do you sense or hear kids laughing? Because I hear kids laughing. And then on my way back home, she was like, you should pay attention more to that. Um, because it can what were you saying? That it can be like a sign or my guides.
Yeah, it could be a
Hmm.
sign of the kids telling you, okay, we're okay now. You
Yeah.
know, maybe if you were to hear como a scream or crying for a little kid
Hmm.
or from the kids, maybe that could mean something different, you
Yeah.
know. It's just to look for signs, just
Hmm.
see what goes through that day when you hear those little kids, and maybe you could put things together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I kind of felt, the interesting que this after we hung up and I left the room,
Hmm.
lo mi atención, mi enfoque después de terminar to say thank you to my guides,
Yeah.
to say thank you to those who were there, who were there to help.
Hmm.
My today I went to when we were at the store, I got flowers, um and candles, y le puse a mi santa, le puse sus flores, and mi enfoque de ahí, terminar de todo eso, and finish saying thank you and all that, it was just to her. Like, after all of that, my focus was just to her, and I literally went up to her and I said thank you.
Aw, that's so sweet.
And it's has been a while that I have felt so mm, proud. I'm gonna say, no, maybe not proud, but I
Gratitude.
guess, see, yes,
Hmm.
gratitude, because I had really detached myself from her in a very
Yeah.
for a long time.
And I,
Hmm.
now that you bring that up, once we started talking and, you started telling me more about La Santa, and I kept telling you, like, just talk to her, you need to communicate with her. Te está buscando. And I would always tell her, like, talk to her, be vulnerable. Let yourself be vulnerable to her. And personally, I don't have a connection with her yet. There's still a lot for me to learn from her and about her. Um, but I eventually, would like to have some kind of connection. But you know, just what you were telling me, that you in a way disassociated from her for a bit. I did always try to encourage you, take that time, be vulnerable, talk to her.
Hmm.
So I'm glad. I'm really glad that you were able to feel that way. That's very
Yeah,
nice.
It was definitely a hell of a day for you too.
Yeah,
it was.
I when I was driving back home, I kept telling my dad, I was like, I feel so sore. My bones felt so sore. Like I felt like I ran a marathon or something. I just felt so sore, and like a big wave of like cansado, cansada. And so I got
Hmm.
home, I ate, um, and then I was like trying to fall asleep, but I couldn't fall asleep. And then I don't know, we were watching a show, y sí me quedé dormida, and I thought I had slept for a good hour or so. It was only 20 minutes, and I still feel tired. No, but I do still feel really tired, really achy. But I'm very proud of what I did today, what we did today, because it wasn't just me. You helped me, so I'm very
Hmm.
proud of
Hmm.
that.
What kind of
Yeah,
flowers did you get your Santa?
it was just a mix of the bouquets. I think it has the lilies and the white daisies. I don't know what the other flowers are. They're like burgundy, maybe.
Hmm. What kind of
Well, you
flower?
got the same ones too?
White
Okay.
daisies and I don't know what the other ones.
Carna-
God only knows.
Carnations.
carnation.
Red carnations.
Yeah, Natalie was. I didn't go. My wife did. She went over to Wegmans. and she FaceTimed me, and she showed me the pink ones first. Yeah, she showed me the pink ones first. I was like, yeah, definitely. And then she's like, or these, meaning the white daisies and the other colors too. I'm like, how about both and just mix them together?
Mix them
Just
together.
Yeah.
pop, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, I love Wegmans flowers.
yeah. Actually, they last for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We get white roses for our twins, right? We get white roses for them in good 2 weeks, right? They last.
Well, ¿no han escuchado the el amor que uno les tiene? They absorb and they last longer. I don't know if you guys have
Mm-hmm.
No,
heard
I've
that
never
saying.
heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I
it's
have.
not really a saying, but I don't know,
Yeah.
a thought,
Mm-hmm.
a saying. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like when my husband gets me flowers too, they be lasting months, and I'd be like, oh, he does love me.
That's fun.
No, I do. I have all the flowers he's given me, and they all look, you know, they're dried up now, but they still look really good. So that's really nice.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I like how it stands out, especially right next to her.
Yeah.
I feel like it brightens her up a bit more than you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's good. I'm glad.
You guys' Sunday definitely tops mine by by a mile. My Sunday wasn't that interesting. I just
Maybe
worked.
you should go cleanse a house. See how it goes.
It should.
We should be like the Ghostbusters.
You know, we should be. And no, we should go to these haunted houses.
Oh, I don't know about no haunted houses.
Come on, and then get the devices that you can actually hear what they're saying. I used to love watching these shows. Ah, good times.
I
Like you would just make up the words that coming out of them things, and then scary stuff.
The spirit boxes.
this
Yeah, yeah, scary stuff. But especially when they start the fire and stuff like that, and just how crazy it gets out of nowhere when they're trying to like bring them all to the fire. It's good
oh
stuff. Yeah, it's been years since I've seen a show like that.
um the first experience I've had with, would it be considered a spirit box? I don't know. It was when my tia and her oldest son
Oh,
came.
yes, it is a spirit box.
Yeah, came to
Mm-hmm.
visit, and my oldest cousin, he wanted to go to the mob museum that we have here in this in Nevada. Um and I
To the Met museum.
mob museum. Mob, like mobsters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool,
it gives
cool.
out the history of all the mobsters that ever existed. It's nice.
Such
um,
confidence.
I've been once, and going with them would be my second time. But both experiences, in my opinion, were horrible. Not because of the place itself, but just the energy from that place
Mm-hmm.
alone is so heavy,
Really?
very heavy. And
Mm-hmm.
when we went with my tia and my cousin, she she pulled that out, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And she showed me, and what did it say? I remember it saying like three. It was like three people or three something, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh heck no, turn that off!" And it was giving us names, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Nope. And then it said something. I remember it saying something behind you. It
Yeah.
had said behind you. And I was like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, I'm ready to go.
No, and then I had turned it off, right? I had turned it
Mhm.
off when we were about to leave,
Yeah.
and we went to the souvenir store, to the
Mhm.
gift shop, and Pancho, pues, oh my god, my son being my son, um, they had the chains, the keychains, and one was a bullet. It was a bullet, and then
Yeah.
when my son was gonna go pay for it, the girl at the register tells him that going through TSA was gonna probably be a
An
problem.
issue, yeah.
So then he looks at me and I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I'm not gonna go through that. Like, there's no need. Pero before that, I was about to step out from the store because I couldn't handle. I I had a headache. I wasn't feeling okay. Like,
Yeah.
it was too much.
The
Like,
energy
the
there.
energy was just really, really, is just too much.
It was very
So
rough.
I was like, no, you know what? I'm just gonna wait for you outside. And then when about to step, and I had said outside, felt like somebody had just stabbed me in the side
Mhm.
of my aquí them for my side.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay. I will stay here. And then he looks at the keychain, and he's like that he was gonna take it. And then the girl said, mentioned about there was gonna be probably we want to have some issues with TSA. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I'm like, no, I don't need that stuff. There's no need for none of that stuff just for that. If I would have walked out, if I would have not felt that pinched or that stabbing, that I felt, I would have walked out, and he would have bought it.
I wouldn't have stopped him. I don't know any better. I would have
Yeah.
been like, yeah, that's cool. Go for it. You have
Mm-hmm.
You
money.
would have fun at the airport.
See, yeah. Mm-hmm. And
Damn.
then and then he looked it up online to see if they will sell it online. They don't, because of the same reason, because of the I guess just because it's an actual real bullet.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's, even though I felt the place just felt so heavy. I mean, I still said thank you to whoever poked me.
Yeah.
Because I would have walked away. I mean, I would have walked out from the store. Mm-hmm.
I I just had a headache the entire time. Pounding headache. Nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
I was ready to go the moment we stepped in. I was like, all right, let's go.
It's funny because there was little, as we were in there, we felt little things. We felt touching the
Yeah.
hair, touching the
Mhm.
shoulder,
Touching
and
clothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
as we were walking, and we were like, "Wait, did you touch me?" Or did you touch my hair?
Yeah.
As the whole entire time that we were there, the whole entire time,
That sounds
Mhm.
like
and even as my son were walking around, he's like, he's all wow and admiring everything, and
Yeah.
this and that, and reading this and that. When we left, even himself, he even said that he felt touches and
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
He did come clean afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I did feel like there's, something
Yeah. And I'm
following
like, what did
me.
you say anything? He's like, no. He's like, because I was looking. He's like, oh, this is cool. He's really so
Mhm.
into all that stuff.
Yeah. And we even
Um.
got the name Joe too before walking
Mm-hmm. Oh,
out,
CCC
remember?
walking
And
now.
we
Mm-hmm.
were trying to figure out like what mobster, because there's a ton of Joes, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So many mobsters named Joe. Like, come on, be original. But we were trying to figure out like who, because I think you got that name like 3 times, right? That name
Mm-hmm.
pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so we were just trying to figure out who. And so me and my cousin went back because towards the end of
Oh,
the
got wasn't the name of the guy from today was also Joe?
yeah. Stop! I totally forgot about that. Okay, rewind.
Mm.
Hold on. So, um, when I had called my tia initially and asking her for help to find this tall, white, skinny guy, because I genuinely did not feel his presence. I did not see him. I did not get an image of him. Nada de nada.
Mhm.
Okay. So I called her and I asked for help, and she was telling me how I need to ground myself, how I need to go into the space where he's at, and try to meditate, and ask, what message he needs to give, or what he needs assistance with, right? So I went, I sat down, I grounded, I called upon my guides to help me, speak to him, and to see what what it was that he wanted to communicate, because like I said prior, my sister kept insisting that he wanted to be acknowledged. But how
Mhm.
can I acknowledge him if I don't see, hear, or feel him? And my tia Brisa had mentioned the same thing too, that he wanted to be acknowledged. Again, I can't see, feel, or hear him. I can't acknowledge someone. So I went, to that corner, that hallway, because it's a hallway, on the right hand side, near the restroom, closer to the bathroom. And I sat down and I called on my guide, and I asked him to help me figure out what he wanted to communicate. And all I kept getting was Joe, John, just names with J. And even my tia
For a
was
moment,
like,
even I even say, I'm like, it feels like a. All I hear was like a John Doe, John Doe.
yeah,
I'm like, what the
yeah.
heck?
Like, I was like, I just keep hearing John, Joe, and then my dad mentioned the
Mhm.
whole John Doe, and I was like, yeah, like that's all I keep hearing. Um, so fast forward, we're at the mob museum, and we kept getting this Joe name on that app that she had on her phone, the Spirit Box app. And we just kept getting John until me and my cousin would go, because at the end of the tour there's a big wall with all of their pictures and the
A
time that they were
timeline.
born. Yeah,
Mhm.
just
It's
all
like a
their
timeline.
timeline.
Mhm.
The day, and the day they were born and the day they died, and so we me and my cousin went, and we started from one end of the room and we finished to the other, and every Joe name we saw, we took a picture, we took a picture, we took a picture. I took a picture. There was like 3 Joes in one row. I was like, you're kidding me. I was like, picture, picture, picture. We took a picture of this whole wall. And then we went back to my tia, and I was like, is it this one? And she's like, no. And we'll scroll. Okay, not that one. Is it this one? And she's like, no. And I was like, not that one. We never figured it out, actually. I don't think.
Mm-mm. No,
Um,
no. I think we just said let's keep on walking because of just
yeah.
how bad we just started to feel. Mhm.
Yeah. But that's funny.
Meanwhile, he was amused of everything that
Yeah,
he was seeing.
he was. Oh my goodness, he's so precious. He genuinely had a great time. Like, he was the only one smiling ear to ear, because if he could live there, he probably would.
Hmm. Yeah.
um, no, but that was our experience. I That's so funny that you remember the Joe name, because se me pasó.
Yeah, I don't know. Just it came up. I remember that we had a Joe today.
Yeah. No, but that was the day. Um, that's crazy. That's so funny. I like Se me pasó el nombre. But
I got nothing for you guys. On this Sunday, it was,
So
you know,
just talking about with Kati, we were talking about that. What amazes me is how much, even though I wasn't in her space with her physically, is
Mhm.
how much we're able to feel through a screen,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
If you actually put yourself out there, it's like it's just it amazes me how energy works.
Yeah. And actually, it's not the first time we've had an encounter like that, because
Mhm.
we talk, virtually all the time. Well, we meditate, you know, we talk every day. um
Sí, pero como que esta vez the whole experience was just is different,
yeah,
because it was in a different space. You got
that's
to
true.
remember, I was in your apartment.
That's true. That is very
I
true. Yeah.
I've never been where your sister and your dad lives.
Mhm.
So
That's true.
it was just it was something new. That there was new for me.
Mhm. That is true.
So it's just, yeah, it's interesting how energy works, and that's why that's why I got up and I put my onyx today.
Ah,
Not saying that you guys gonna throw anything bad. No, 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 no. It,
never.
it's really interesting how we sit and scroll through our phones, through Facebook, through
Mhm.
TikTok, through Instagram, and
Yeah.
and how we're able to feel the energy of these people, that we're
Yeah.
that we're seeing, that we're listening, and all of that is just, it amazes me how energy works. That you're able to feel.
Mhm. Yeah. Just the amount that you're able to feel. That's crazy.
Oh, see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That, like I said, I'm just amazed. I'm proud. Like my tia had mentioned earlier, a boost of confidence. Like I just felt a boost. Like set aside the whole aches and feeling tired. I genuinely just feel very proud of myself for being able to cleanse this space.
When
And
you do it, you should be able to tolerate that a little more. Your body will get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I hope so because
Mm-hmm.
Just practice, like
yeah.
everything else.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to a gym for the first week, you're gonna be sore. Once your body gets used to it and stuff like that, it's just you're able to
Mm-hmm.
tolerate a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That's
is.
like I had mentioned to you, when you do these type of things, and you have to try to have something for you to eat, because you're using
Mhm.
your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So you have to have.
that's kind of where I messed up because I woke up and I went. I woke up at 8:30. I got ready and I left the house at 9:15. I mean, she doesn't live that far, like a good 10 minutes away. And I didn't eat and I should have because I was hungry. I woke up
But now you know.
hungry.
Now you know.
No, yeah, of course.
Now
No.
you know how your body will react to something like this.
Mhm.
Um, and that's all it is. And
Yeah.
that's try and error type of thing.
Oh, of course. Now I know.
I have
Good.
a question,
Mhm.
Risa. Right now, it just popped in my head. So when we create an energy ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you done it? Has anyone done it to you?
The energy ball to me,
And like place it on
above me.
above you, or just like say for example, just a section part of your body that's sore or aching.
So
The
Wouldn't it
reason why
I,
be in
ki-
the
I
in the
kind of
mentoring
think
class?
will be Reiki will be something like that.
Mm.
the reason why I ask is because a while, maybe like no, like 3 weeks ago, my wife, she was having discomfort in her left shoulder, right? So then I went ahead and I created an energy ball, right? And I placed my hands right above her shoulder, and maybe I had my hands above her shoulder for a couple minutes, and it came to a point where she asked me if I was actually touching her, like if I was touching her shoulder, which I
Mm.
wasn't.
You were just
Hmm.
hovering.
Yeah, I was just hovering. I was just literally
Mm-hmm.
just hovering, right? And yeah, she asked me if I was, she felt some sort of like pressure. I'm like, no, I'm not touching you. It's just my hand. I just
Hmm.
have my hands over your shoulder. I've been meaning to ask you that, like, because I've never had it done to myself, like, or I have anyone do that towards me, the where I feel like, like whatever she felt, I've never felt that before. So I don't know if you've had. I found
No.
it very interesting because I wasn't
Right.
touching.
Well, like I was saying, I think it's a little bit with Reiki, because I mean with Reiki, the only thing with Reiki is that I know Reiki masters and all that stuff, they do symbols and through Reiki and all that stuff, which that's something that we haven't gotten there yet.
Hmm.
Um but I think that it's basically what it does. It's like giving yourself, because you could give yourself Reiki. Probably, I'm not quite sure if that's giving yourself the symbols that they use. Um, but you could do it to yourself. With recent these last two Reiki, this Reiki and last month's Reiki, I had did mention to
Our mentor.
uh, uh, our mentor that I do feel now when her the energy of the Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
Something something that I didn't feel before,
Does it feel like
you know.
pressure, or what do you like? How does it
Yeah,
feel?
yeah, what for me it feels a little bit of like tingling sensation just running through your body. It's just a
Okay.
tingle. If she was I think if she was to concentrate into one spot, I will also feel it, maybe a little bit of pressure, maybe.
That's funny.
Um, pero yeah, it does feel like if you were. It feels like if you had something just pouring over you, And I mean, I believe her mentioning, there's practitioners or who do Reiki differently.
Mm-hmm.
Others put their hands on you. They don't do it on us. They don't touch us. They do it above us. Their hands. And I had told her, I'm like, I literally this was last month that I told her, I'm like, I literally could feel, you know, the wave of the energy going in. And she's like, yeah. She's like, I felt your body just was like absorbing it. Like it was saying, yeah, I want it, give it to me,
Oh.
um that was that last month, and today I literally felt it, and I told her, I was like, I could feel it, now.
I will have to pay more attention to
Mm.
that when I go and get Reiki done. 'Cause I mean, you lay there, and you
Hmm.
just relax and you lay there. And there's times where I do feel like tingles, but I just sometimes it feels like it's just my body.
Wait, you guys lay down? I was. I
For
was.
Reiki, yeah.
She told me to stand up.
Mm-mm.
No, we lay down,
We lay down.
Hmm.
and like I felt sensations here and there, but again, me just thinking maybe my like sometimes I feel it in my legs, right?
Hmm.
So maybe sometimes think it's just like maybe my legs are just falling asleep for laying down there for
Mm.
pretty
Mm-mm.
much almost an hour. So
Hmm.
I'll have to pay more attention to it then, because I feel like anything else, to feel that sensation, but me in my head is just like, my
Now you
something's
see,
my arm's about to fall
before
asleep. Then
before me feeling like all that, I would I will always go to Reiki, and I think my thing was paying attention more of who would I see, what would they do, um, you know, if they would say something, if I would see someone, if I would hear anyone, if I what would I see, in that time. And I mean, don't get me wrong, yeah, there's been times when I do feel where then when we're finished, I asked her, "Did you touch me here?" And she was like, "No, I didn't touch you." And I'm like, "Okay." Or I felt like a blow of just cold.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's during it's winter. They have the heat on. No, nothing cold. And she's like, "No, I didn't blow on you." I'm like, "Okay." Um, so those I was paying attention more to that, you know, until I actually into my deep, concentration. I'm like, "No, please, I'm not okay," because you're laying there and your mind just because you're silent, it's
Hmm.
quiet, you're silent, and then your mind is just like processing so many things. You're just thinking of so many things, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, you need to shut up." And
Easier
if
said than
you
done, though.
see,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could probably be silenced maybe for half a second when my I start again. I'm like, okay, ja, enough. Really gotta stop. And it's hard. It's hard to silence your brain. Mm.
Yes.
And but then I will start breathing because then I will remember everything that we were taught. That I was taught is just go back to your breathing, pay attention to your breathing, and I do. And I start, and then lately, well, last month and this month, that's what I started doing. And then that's when I started feeling more, concentrating more into the body instead of what if I was to hear something, see something, which is pretty cool because today I had mentioned to her that I saw, I heard, and I felt the every said that the I felt what she was doing to me, but I also heard messages come through, and
Really?
I saw I saw colors, which is really funny because when we were doing this to your sister today, when we were shielding her,
Yeah.
um my colors that I saw with her, and I had told Joe before first,
Mm-hmm.
right? I had mentioned to you that it was like a purple color. It was
Pur-
like a bright purple
purple,
color,
fuchsia.
and
Yeah.
then seeing Ian and a green, really green, como neon color. And I had mentioned to her what that I have seen those colors.
Yeah.
Um,
That was actually my first
but
time seeing those colors on, somebody else. Like being able to acknowledge those colors on somebody else. Like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, I think I think that's the thing that we pay attention more of what we want to hear, to see what we want, instead
Mm-hmm.
of see. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, pay attention on your next Reiki.
I will
Yeah.
definitely do that.
And yeah, you're right because whenever I do go and get Reiki done, I have my eyes closed and stuff like that. I always see purple, that purplish color, and then I try so hard to see something.
Mm-hmm.
Like like my eyes are closed, but I feel like they're open because I'm seeing the purple, and I see how things like start forming, and like I'm really trying to like
Mm-hmm.
something, you know. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's something I should try that. Like just
but that's
let go and let loose.
let loose. Yeah, just relax. Pay attention to your breathing instead of up here. you
Mm-hmm.
know um because as she was doing the Reiki, and I started to see these colors. I saw green first, and then I saw the purple, and then for some reason they joined in together, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I was questioning even myself, but I was actually seeing, because then that's when I started seeing that they were starting to come together. And I'm like, okay,
Did they make a new
it
color
was
together?
no.
Or
It
they
was
were just
just like
infused?
green and yeah, they were just by side from one
Oh,
another
okay.
or next to each other. See,
Yeah.
um, and I was like, okay. Like at first, I was questioning myself because, I mean, that's again your confidence level, you know.
No conoces
Entonces,
también.
and then
Ujú.
and it's como dice Joe. Sometimes you just try and you get nothing. And this
Yeah.
time, I wasn't trying to see anything or hear anything, and it was just coming through. It was just coming through on its own. And but then again, that's you're questioning. I'm questioning myself whether it is what I'm seeing, if it
Yeah.
is what I'm seeing, or is it just now me, you know?
Mhm.
But yeah, but it's really funny how the green, I mean the purple color came up with your sister because I literally felt the same color, the purple,
Yeah.
hmm with her.
Yeah. That is very true. Yeah, I was I mean, would that be considered her aura that we picked up on?
Yeah, could be,
Or
yeah.
yeah. Um yeah, I was very shocked that I was able to pick up on that cuz
I
I
had mentioned to you that the green, well, green is heart
heart
on chakras,
yep.
and purple or
Oh,
fuchsia is the
crap.
crown.
The crown.
hmm Yeah. So with her, I kind of feel that her crown is pretty open, and I was gonna ask you if you wanna take her somewhere to get Reiki.
I did let her know about
hmm
getting Reiki. She said that when I master it, that she'll let me do it on her. So I told her she'll have to pay for my classes because
For your service.
yeah. um
That's
Yeah.
no, but I did share our mentors page with her and I did let her know that whenever she was ready,
hmm
that I would highly recommend it because it's very eye opening. I definitely enjoy my sessions with our mentor. I mean, I had two, but still, they're good ones.
she's
hmm
good. She's really good. I have a lot of confidence in her ability and her.
Yes,
She's helped us out a
she
lot.
really has. I
And
and it's so hard sometimes because I feel like she's over there on your guys' side of the world, and I no sé, se me hace más difícil darle esa confianza a alguien más.
mm,
hmm
Someone
Well,
here local.
not only because of that, it's just the fact because you only probably have had anything done with her but twice.
Mhm.
It's different. I
Yeah.
mean, with her, you're talking about I think now we are about 4 to 5 years, maybe,
Mm. Wow.
because it was since I was at the Bowman house.
Mm.
hmm
And I've gotten Reiki done here. Um, I've gotten Reiki done here, and it wasn't the same. I can't. They're not on the same level. It's just different.
I don't. I did
Mm.
that place with where we went. I even told your mom. I even told her. I'm like, I don't know. When I first stepped foot into the place,
Mhm.
it felt really heavy in there. It felt I don't know whether because it was the same day of the travel, but I didn't like the sensation. I didn't like the feeling.
Mhm.
I told you I don't think they cleanse this place at all.
Yeah, and that's
If
so
for
funny
me
because.
that's the way it
Mhm.
felt. It
Yeah,
felt just
you interpret
too
it, the energy.
heavy, too much. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. He se me hace bien chistoso because when we went in, I was like, "Oh, this place is so peaceful."
Oh, no, el lugar es bonito. It's
Sí,
pretty. The way they
very
have it,
pretty.
the decoration and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff and everything that they have is pretty. It's nice.
Yeah,
It's just they need to cleanse it.
the energy. Yeah.
Hmm.
What is that? How long ago was it that Grandma came?
Mm,
5 years?
5 years?
Yeah.
I think so.
Damn, it's been that long then. I think that well, that was the first time around that. I think before Grandma came. I think that's when you started talking to me about Kathy.
Our mentor.
Our mentor.
That damn word.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
where is he going with this?
And then that summer she came. Holy crap! Time
So
flies.
then it's been more time then.
I guess for you,
Okay.
maybe I don't know.
Let me see. Trying to remember when we purchased the Bowman house, and then we could get like a time frame from there.
I'm getting 2019.
Mm,
No, that's too early. 2015?
hold on. I know. 2016.
Oof.
2016
16.
in January 2016. Uh, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Since then, that's when I met her. I remember that it was um
It has been a while.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Wow.
mhm.
I guess that's why you could say we have that conference with her, and she's pretty easy going too.
Mhm.
Yeah, she is. She has a great
She's
attitude.
a well, oh well, she's, I mean, around our age. My
Yeah,
age, I would say.
yeah,
Your age, Joe, no? Mejor.
yeah. I think she may be months older than me. We had this conversation before. I forget.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's months older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You beat me to it.
it did.
No, but I think our mentor is great. I haven't known her for that long, compared to the years you guys know her. Um, but I love her energy. She's she knows so much. She's very wise. And just the fact that, she takes the time out of her day to start these mentorship classes and goes in depth with you. So
Mhm.
I appreciate that from her a lot.
She has the patience for it.
Oh yeah.
She has patience.
Yeah.
She has patience. And she knows how she's pretty good at explaining things.
Mhm.
A lot of people, they're not good at that. You
No,
know,
yeah, that's true.
I'm good at that.
Yeah.
She's good at explaining things, and she knows how to work with like a lot of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like
I think that also comes with practice.
Oh, yeah.
mhm.
And once again, comfort level también.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
Sí. Sí. Pero,
I'm gonna try the energy ball again in a couple of days or so.
mm-hmm.
See if my wife has like if she feels the same if she feels what she felt.
Originally.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool because I wasn't like touching her at all, and she said she felt like pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was pretty neat, and I've been meaning to ask Barisa about it. I always forget, and so right now I just popped in my head.
Hmm.
So if you ask about it,
Yeah,
I gotta try that again.
that'll be good. That'll be good.
So during cuando ustedes están trabajando, do you guys feel anything?
Yes. Yes. Like like spirit wise, or just feelings in general. Like the feelings of others.
Anything.
I feel like
Well,
there's
you
some
with
other,
you work with in an office with other people or no?
yeah. Yeah. I do. It's a good handful. But I'm in I have my own billing office. Y pues nomás estoy yo solita. And I do feel que no estoy solita a veces. I do feel like there's someone there with me. Um and a veces I'll just hear like random tapping. Um and so the front desk, they go to lunch at 11:30 and 12:30. So, there's a good, you know, hour and a half where it's just
That
me in the office. Yeah. Y and a veces cuando estoy sola es cuando escucho los tappings. And sometimes I'll get up and I'll be like, "Hello?" Pero no, I have not yet asked who's in the room with me. Um, but I feel like it's a male energy.
it's a young male.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I definitely feel a male energy. Um, and that's all, mostly all that I feel at work. It's just that energy, that male energy. I have the opportunity to work from home Tuesday through Thursday. And so when it's just me at the house, I don't. A veces pienso que no pongo atención como debo, pero hay días que sí siento que no estoy en la casa sola. Y hay otros días que pues me pongo ciega para eso, like me tapo los oídos, los ojos y todo. Pero había, había un día a donde yo estaba trabajando de casa y en eso llegó mi esposo. And he was chilling with me in the living room. Well, my desk, my computer setup is in the living room. And um he was sitting on the one of the chairs. And so the couch was empty. Our couch was empty. And then all of a sudden, we have two dogs. One of our dogs is named Panchito, and he got closer to the couch, and he sat down, and he got back up, looked directly at the couch, empty, and he started barking. And I was like, deja de hacer eso. And he stopped, and he walked away, and he came back, and he started barking again at the couch. And I'm like, what? Who are you barking at? There's no one there. And then cuando le dije eso, fue que escuché, no, I'm here. Pero en español, like, sí estoy aquí. And I'm like, where, who's here? And this energy felt familiar. You know, I've felt this energy before. No me sentía asustada, pero me sentí como que conocía quién estaba ahí. And again, I was going into a little self-doubt. So I had taken a picture and I had sent this photo to my tia Brisa. And I was like, hey, I circled where I saw them. And I was like, I feel like I know who it is. And it's a relative of my husband. And he's sitting right here. But I'm second guessing myself. Can you confirm? Y se lo mandé. Y entonces cuando mi tía me contestó y me dijo que sí, that it was an older gentleman in that area, in that seating area. and I just started hearing, because I kept referencing to this relative as sir, and they were like, no, we're family. And he was very kind, very, very kind. And once my tía has said that, that, que sintió esa energía también, I was like, oh, the light bulb went on, and I was like, oh, I know who it is now. And sometimes I do feel him coming in and out from the house too, like, a veces está aquí, a veces no. And I want to say that same week, my husband was like, someone just pulled on my hair. But he was like, I don't know if it was a headset that he had on, and that, but he was like, I don't know, but I definitely felt someone pull on my hair. And I was like, maybe it's your relative. But that's what I feel at home. What about you guys?
Well, I work in the construction area, so I'm in and out of houses. Um, so I do a lot of disturbing, especially if I'm demoing stuff, walls or whatever it is that I'm demoing. And there's times where I do find myself feeling presence, strong presence.
Mm.
Sometimes not offensive, maybe like twice. Um, the one time I was working this property in Kingston. I was there for a long time. We for whatever reason we couldn't finish this project, right?
Mhm.
Double house. We are working on both houses, on the second floor, but
Mhm.
for whatever reason we could not finish it, right? So then I don't remember if I had a channeling session or a tarot card reading, but I had mentioned it to our mentor, right? I said the word. I didn't forget the word.
Yeah.
I had mentioned it to our mentor, right? And yeah, there was a female there, and I have sensed her before. I was actually where I was working in front of the steps I was installing a door,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like someone was behind me just watching me.
Really?
I felt a female presence, right? But I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Ah, whatever, you know." So I forget what I asked our mentor, and I forgot. I can't remember for the life of me if it was channeling or tarot card reading that I went in for. And she's like, she's there. She's not happy. Yeah, she wasn't
Like
happy
happy with you being inside the house?
working and doing. I was we changed things around on
Yeah.
both.
Oh, so you guys were remodeling?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She told me what to do. She basically let me next time you go in there and have a conversation with her. You know,
Yeah.
let her know what's going on. Blah blah blah. I was like, and she's like, she likes cupcakes. So if you could take her cupcake, right?
Really?
So the thing that maybe 2 days later, I ended up going back to the site. As soon as I opened that door and I stepped a foot inside that house, I felt like a cold rush go right through my body. And like
No.
that anxiety level, like whenever I connect, I ha-
Yeah.
I get anxiety, but like nothing crazy. Just to know that's what lets me know that I'm actually connecting, right?
Yeah.
Anxiety that I felt was pretty high. Like my heart was like going, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I talked to her. I was like, "Hey, listen, I'm just here trying to do my job. We're trying to make your house look prettier. Not saying it wasn't that pretty before, but we're upgrading everything. We're switching things around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Here to disturb, not here to do anything else to it. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
damaging anything. I'm just in here doing my job. I was hired to do this." And I asked if she could please just let us continue with the job so I could get the hell out of here so you could have your space and I don't disturb your space anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
After a while, that cold rush that I felt, that anxiety started going away. That's as intense I've felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Like I was actually scared to go in to begin with, just because I was just scared
Mm-hmm.
to go into that house. And then as soon as I
Yeah.
walked in, I felt that cold rush. I was like, "Whoa, it was serious. It was serious." But now, I guess now me knowing that experience, um, I don't know. Like I'm not like I guess you could say I don't fear it, like feeling that anymore.
Okay.
Like I guess I felt that I know how it feels. You know, because I've been to other places where I don't feel like a heavy presence. It's just out of nowhere. They just like you turn around, like they're right there, and that rush just goes right through your body. But then that's it.
So let me ask you something. Ahora que sabes eso, mm, when you have a new project at a new home, do you ask for permission? Or do you let them know that you're entering? Like, hey, who's ever here, I'm here to remodel, do some upgrades, or
No,
no?
I forget.
I mean,
No,
it
I
happens.
forget.
There's so much
No,
on our minds.
no, I forget. I even purchased a colonia de siete machos, right, for me to put it on me, before I go to a certain property or to any property period, right?
Hmm.
I did it for about 2 weeks, and then you just forget.
Yeah.
You know, early in the morning, either if you don't wake up early enough, you're rushing to get this, get that, we got to get there.
Yeah.
And no, I should though. I should. I should. Um, but I don't. I always forget. And it's not that I always forget. It doesn't cross my mind to do so.
Hmm.
We just arrive at the site and we just go in there, take our stuff in, and then just start working.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's something to consider. It was. I'm pretty sure every single house around this valley has something going on. You know, these homes are old.
Yeah.
They're over 100, some of them are over 100 years old, and there was some sort of battle fought not too far from where we're located. So there's a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. How about you, Thea?
Mm, I would say yeah, in a place, in a home where I went to go clean. Actually, one of the job sites that Joe was at. I think
West
he
Ross.
was.
Mm.
Yeah, the attic. Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, in the attic. Yeah, I
I-
went to go clean the what? A bathroom. It was a bathroom.
yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm. It was a
yeah.
bathroom,
Blue bed.
and yeah, it was a creepy. It was pretty creepy.
Really?
See, because and then I was just there by myself, and as donde está el baño de ahí, there's like a hallway, a long hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would see a little kid, a little boy, or a little boy, and then like an older man.
It's
Hmm.
funny because
Really?
I was inside that building a lot of times, and I've never felt. The only time I did feel there is that same floor that you're talking about, Brisa, towards the exit, the other side.
Hmm.
Um, I was uh I was removing a padlock or installing a padlock, something like that. But just like I just turned around and I felt it. I saw this dark shadow, and that's that rush came in. You know, it
Mm-hmm.
threatened much. But then it just went away like that. And before I left, I had said, "Stay here. Do not follow me. You're not welcome. You're not welcome at all." Right.
Hmm.
That was the only time that I felt anything in there. I never felt anything else. I was there constantly. I
Yeah,
practically
Oh,
always lived there.
wow.
it's their home.
Not anymore though. That place got sold.
Yeah, no, that was that. And when we moved into the Bowman house, ahí también, we were still here at my parents' house, and Jorge used to go after work. He used to go and it was a foreclosure home, and it needed a little bit of fixing,
Remo. Mm-hmm.
and the bathroom needed to be remodeled. And then he pulled everything out from the bathroom and remodeled it. And I would feel, and that's the same thing too. It's funny because in that bathroom we would feel that we weren't able to finish. We weren't able, like, sentía que it was just one
Oh,
thing after another. We
I
weren't
thought
able to
finish
finish the
using the bathroom. I was
no,
like, what?
no, finish the remodeling. Ay, ay,
Uh-huh.
ay.
More specific.
Yeah.
um, Como que salía una cosa, not necessarily in the bathroom, but like
Mm-hmm.
in the house. It was like one thing after and something else, something would come up. And
Mm-hmm.
then one time I was with Jorge in the bathroom, and then I had told him, I think he was doing the wall. He was fixing up the wall. And I had mentioned to him, I was like, I just feel like an older guy, and he feels really mad. Um,
Wow.
and I just I walked, I got up, and I went to the hallway, and I just said, I'm sorry if we're destroying your home, but all we're trying to do is just fix it up, and before we could move in, and I'm not trying to bother you at all. And from there, como que
Mhm.
it went away a little bit. But then again, when we started fixing up the downstairs or the kitchen, oh, I see, like, I will have like little flashes of the older men. It was the men, it was the guy. Um, and I will say again, I'm like, just, all I'm trying to do is just make your house look better and just feel homey
Mhm.
again. And you be more than welcome to stay, but just let us finish to with the projects that we have going on. Y se sentía como que terminaba una cosa y si se iba a arreglar otra cosa, no terminaba lo que estaba haciendo.
Yeah.
Um, but um, but yeah, there is now, like, in the restaurant, we do feel a lot going on in the restaurant. That's a whole different story.
Wait, so
We
what
have
did you do?
a
Did you
donde.
like end up cleansing the woman house, or I mean,
So
porque the project finished, but did you end up
in the
cleansing the
Bowman
house?
in the Bowman
Uh-huh.
house, that's when I have met a mentor when we were
Mhm.
living there, and I would talk to her about a lot about this house, actually, this
Mhm.
house, and then the Bowman house. I believe I had my first session with her was channel and tarot. She used to do channeling and tarot together.
Mhm.
She had started in the beginning, and she will pick up from this house, and then she will pick up some from the other house,
Oh, okay. Mhm.
and she will kind of start leading me, like, how to do certain little stuff.
Mhm.
um as more as I started to grow into more into the spiritual and cleansing and all that stuff, I was doing it on my own, as much as lo poco que sabía yo hacer.
Sí. Sí.
um as I started working with it more and knowing more and going to all these well, she was, I don't think she was doing classes by then, but the more I used to see, like, YouTube videos or así cositas así,
Mhm.
um este, it would I would start doing it, I would start cleansing.
Mhm.
um pero el señor ya nunca se apareció,
No.
ya no, no. No, he was like, I feel like he was more okay with it now. Like, he
Yeah.
understood.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I remember you were telling me about one of the offices you were cleaning. Uh, about the little boy. No sé si te recuerdas.
Little boy.
Mhm. Que lo asustaste.
Oh, yeah, that was in Philly. That was
Mhm.
in Philly. I was cleaning one of the clinics, and I was in one of the rooms, and I was cleaning the sink because it's a dentist office. I was cleaning the sink, and there was a chair in the corner from that sink.
Mhm.
Y, y and I was cleaning the inside of the sink, and then I was going towards the counter, and all of a sudden I just felt this rush. You know cuando corren los niños y se sientan en un lugar?
Mhm.
So I just felt this rush, and I just saw how this little kid just se vino y se sentó así. And I just like, oh, I'm like, oh, hi. But, and I guess we
Each
both
other.
scare each other because
Uh-huh.
I don't think he knew that I was gonna be able to see him.
Mhm.
And then como que se fue. Como yo pienso que nos asustamos los dos a la misma vez.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was in one of the offices. And then there's an also here in one of the offices from here, from where we live, like half an hour away. Um, I believe one of the doctors had passed away, or passed away,
Mhm.
and lately in that office, well, these past 2 weeks I haven't been going. My kids are the one who has been going to do
Mhm.
the cleaning, and every time now these I don't know if it was this week, but last week they had called me telling me that they keep hearing things in the bathroom. Um,
Really.
and my son had walked in the office, and when he went to go turn on the light, because the lights are all the way in the front of the office, we
Mhm.
go in through the back door.
Mhm.
And he said I walked all the way to the front to turn on the lights because I started hearing noises in the bathroom, and I opened the door and there's nobody in the bathroom. So the trash cans, because he said it was a trash can, are pretty old trash cans. They haven't like updated. So the ones that you
Mhm.
pull up, y esos hacen ruido because esos son de lata.
Sí,
And
sí,
and he
sí.
said that's what he was hearing. He was hearing the rattle of the trash can. And he's like
Really.
he's like, and there's nobody there. But yeah, I have one time, I don't know when this doctor passed away. The curious thing is that I was cleaning one of the back office from that
Mhm.
office, and all of a sudden I just saw that the little card que dan, I guess, in the funeral homes.
Mhm.
um, and I just saw him there, but I didn't know he was a doctor
Oh, okay.
until I went to their closet, and they in the frame, I
Mhm.
think it was during Halloween. They had their como plastic paper teeth where you write your name, where they were able
Mhm.
to write their names. And I saw one that had the teeth had wings with the doctor's name. And
Aw.
I'm like, wait a minute. I think this is the doctor que estaba ahí in the table that I had saw.
Yeah.
And and then for some reason I just kind of felt like he wanted to be known that he was there. And I just felt like he was behind me, just watching everything that I was doing.
Mhm.
Because I remember I was telling the kids, I started telling the kids, I'm like, there was a doctor here and he passed away. And then they're like, really? And I was like telling, because we were all spread, and it's an office, so we were all spread. And
Yeah.
as I was walking through the office, I would tell, if I was to find one, I would tell them. I felt like he needed like to be
Mhm.
known, that he was there. And I just, for some reason, I just felt that he was just following me throughout the whole clean of the office.
making
And
sure
I
you do
remember,
something.
yeah, no, and I remember saying to him, I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. I won't touch anything. I won't take anything. I'll make sure I clean this office right. Because he was one of the doctors, I believe, in that office.
Mhm.
And yeah, but yeah, that's one of the like recent is in that office. Oh, and besides the one with the kid, because I think that was during last month too.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Um, my other experience fue ahí en la casa de mis abuelitos,
Oh,
actually.
but that was when you were really young.
Yeah. I was a teenager. I was a teenager. Um, I think maybe 15,
Hmm.
15 or 16. I want to, no, yeah, like 15. Y estábamos en el cuarto, the last one, the big one, the big room, the very last room. And it was me and my sister in that room. And I want to say I think we had just arrived, or we had like a week in PA already. And this was in like maybe 2014, maybe a little bit earlier. But me and my sister, we were wide awake. We weren't sleeping. We still hadn't gotten adjusted to the time. Um, and then in this room at this time, it had the dresser to the left of the entrance, and then the bed was to the right, and it had a mirror. The border, the bed frame was a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say it was like midnight or something. Y en ese tiempo I was on my phone and my sister was under the covers. I think she was playing a video game or on her phone too. I don't remember, but I know she was on a device. Y I turn to my right. So facing the wall towards a donde está la puerta para la entrada del cuarto. Y en eso que mi hermana, she turns to me y me dice, I see someone. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, sister. She's like, sister. She's like, go under the covers with me. And so I go under the covers, and she tells me to lay on our chest and to look directly at the mirror because it would reflect from the other mirror that was right across from us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it would expand, like you would be able to see the whole room. And so
So,
I
excuse
did
me,
that.
espérame. So, entonces era, te lo voy a dar en picture para que lo veas. O sea, para
Ajá.
que
Sí, sí, sí.
era mueble,
Sí,
space y cama.
sí,
So, el mueble tenía espejo y la
sí.
cama, the
Tenía.
headboard, tenía espejo. So,
Mhm.
they will do this.
Yeah,
Mirror each other.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And we go underneath these covers, and she's like, look at the mirror. And I look at the mirror, and I see two men in uniform, like war uniform. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what war, but just war uniform. And then I remember my sister asking me if I saw, and I was like, yes, like what do you see? And I guess we started talking too loud because they were doing something, and the moment I forgot exactly what came out of her mouth, but the moment that those words slipped out of her mouth, they looked at us. And I remember me and my sister got so scared that we got up the bed, and and we like made eye contact. And I remember my sister like, I'm scared, and I was like, I'm scared too. But after that, they like, I don't know, a table appeared, and they were playing like a card game. I don't know, they were doing something. And then I remember my sister, she was like, I'm gonna hide under the covers. And I was like, I am too, because I'm getting scared. Y, y ya al último, no, I think my sister started crying, or I want to say she started crying. And then I guess they got scared as well. And so they just got up, they saluted us, and se fueron. Ya no los vimos. Like, we didn't see them anymore. But I remember that night we had a very tough time going to sleep. I was like, I think I think we slept with the lights on that night because I no. Um, and I remember telling my mom about it, and then obviously my mom told grandma about it, and then grandma made us a tea, and then she told us that she's lived in that house for years and that she never saw anything.
Oh,
Um,
pero eso terminó. That finished with her with her seeing a shadow here just recently.
no way.
Mm-hmm.
Recently in the basement? No. Wow. Where?
Mm-mm. So with the whole remodeling the kitchen,
Yeah.
we moved the dining table
Okay.
where we have the china,
Mhm.
right? So she was sitting the chair that is like to the wall to go upstairs,
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
and we were watching TV because we were drinking tea. We were
Mhm.
drinking coffee, but it was in the morning.
Yeah.
Jorge was in the chair that goes this one where I'm sitting at. That's
Mhm.
donde está la puerta. I was
Sí.
sitting in the other chair next to my mom, but but I was doing something on the computer,
Mhm.
and they were talking, and the TV was on, and and I just hear them both talking, and I was just trying to figure it out what I was doing on the computer,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden I hear her say, "There's a man coming," because we have the blinds, but I don't have curtains.
Yeah, in the living room? The living room
Yeah.
ones?
Mm-hmm. I
Okay.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
But it's like here. No
Sí,
curtains.
sí,
Just
sí.
just the blinds.
Mhm.
And she goes, "There's a man coming." And that's all I hear. And then Jorge goes like, he gets up and he looks out through the window from the door, and he
Yeah.
goes like, "No, no, there's nobody coming." And then my mom goes like, "No, see, there's somebody coming." They say, "See, yo los," I saw how he walked. Jorge got up again. He actually went outside to see, and then he comes back out inside, and he was like, "No, there's nobody outside. There's nobody outside." So,
Really?
she goes, "I've lived here for so many years. I've never heard, saw, or felt anything."
Mhm.
I'm like, "Well, you can now not say you never did."
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Hmm. And I told her, I'm like, "After all these years, you were saying that I'm crazy, that I
I
was
was just gonna
crazy."
say that. Porque me recuerdo, no,
Hmm.
ese día que mi mamá le contó, obviamente yo le conté a mi mamá que, pues que no dijera nada, because
Hmm.
I didn't know how grandma was gonna react.
Hmm.
Y no voy a decir que no, que nos regañó porque no fue eso, but it definitely felt like a lecture. And
Hmm.
I definitely got mad at my mom because, like, why would you say something?
Yeah. No,
um,
yeah, she did. And
oh,
and
damn.
she was saying, I remember her saying that day, she's like, "I heard how she heard the steps."
Footsteps, yeah, the creaking
Yeah,
that makes, yeah.
from out, but this is outside. It's
Uh-huh.
outside from the porch. She's like,
Yeah.
I could hear. She's like, "I heard the steps," and then Jorge tells me, he's like, "No, I also heard steps, but I didn't want to pay too much attention to it because she doesn't believe. Not that she doesn't believe, but it's just the fact that she's like, if I don't see it, I don't hear it, I don't feel it. There's nothing there." Um, Pero no, but now it has changed. And
Wow.
then we were, it was my daughter, her boyfriend. We're sitting on the couch. I was here in the dining room, sitting. My mom was sitting también aquí in the dining area.
Mhm.
And we were talking. I don't know what we were talking about, but we were talking. And I was over here and I was debating if whether I would turn on the TV or not turn on the TV. Because we were
Mhm.
just here, we were just talking.
Yeah.
Tell me why. A few minutes, not even a few minutes, it was seconds of me thinking about turning on the damn TV. The freaking TV turns on.
Sola?
Sola.
Oh my goodness.
I asked, I'm like, who turned on the TV? Did anybody turn on the TV?
Yeah.
And my daughter's boyfriend was like, nope. He's like, nope. And then he said, I might be sitting on the remote. And then he even got up to check if he was like sitting on the remote. Mm-mm. The remote is on top. I think it was in around with the PlayStation area. Okay,
Mhm.
that my son has there,
Mhm.
and the remotes are on top of the the other remotes are on top of the that speaker thing. ¿Cómo se llama?
See the sound bar?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They were there. So, and there's another remote that we also use for the TV that it's uh, on the table.
No.
And let me tell you that TV stayed on all day. Nobody turned it off.
Did you
It
try
was
to
just
figure out who it was or what it was?
no, mm-mm, mm-mm,
No.
no. And then earlier right now, I don't know what we were talking about. Um, and I was telling Jorge, I'm like that TV turned on yesterday by itself.
Mhm.
It turned on by itself. And he's like, no, probably somebody touched. Nope. The remote is here. The other remote's over there. The other remote is on top of the speaker thing. Like,
Mhm.
there's nobody touched that TV. That TV turned on by itself. My mom was sitting over there when he no when he got here. She was showering, so she came down and we were when I was talking about it, she was already here, and she goes and she shakes her head at yes.
Did the
Because
TV turn on itself?
sí, ella estaba ahí.
Sí.
Ujú.
Oh,
Ella
mero, mero
miró.
al frente de la
Ujú,
televisión.
ujú.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
The
grandma's a
only
believer
thing,
now.
that she didn't do, she didn't acknowledge that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
And this is the third time that the TV turns on itself.
Imagine when she goes back to Mexico.
No, I don't know.
No. I think she would. I don't know. I don't
She's
know.
opening up to it,
That is true. She
Mm-hmm.
being
is.
really sensitive about it. You know, there's a lot more goes on over there than here.
Mm.
You know,
Like,
especially when she goes to grandma and grandpa's house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't bring it up, or she'll be,
No.
yeah, she'll have that in her
Yeah.
head.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I remember when we were over there when we went in February. I remember seeing grandpa. You know, I saw his shadow, and I brought it up to your mom's attention. I'm like, I saw my grandfather, and she would say like, she's always asked, you know, que no se la pareciera,
Que
you
no
know,
se le
she's always,
apareciera. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it just mean.
um, I saw grandpa. Well, my great grandfather. He would be
Hmm.
considered my great grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Abuelito when he had passed away. Um, and I remember when my mom got the call, she was in the kitchen. During this time, we were living at the house with them. And I was a teenager, and I remember my mom getting the call and being told that he had passed, and I had seen him. I had seen him like right. behind her, like right beside her, pues. Y es como si vino a despedirse. And I had told my mom that day that he was there, that he was at the house, pues, and like that, que se vino a despedir. Um, and my mom had also, I remember her saying that she had also felt a presence, que no se sentía sola. Um, so wow, that's wild.
No, yeah, but I as I've been told from our mentor that I'm supposed to be that light to the family
I see it.
into all this.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, some of them will be open to it, some of them won't. And but I don't know. With my mom, I don't know. That's just something different.
I guess only time will tell with grandma, you know?
Because from what I've always been told is we have this gift from our mom's side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Always, I have heard it from multiple people that I have gone to,
Mm-hmm.
not only from only one person. I have
Mm-hmm.
heard from it from different people that we have this, and from our mom's side, whether it was my grandma or my from part of my grandfather, but it comes from mom's side.
Mm-hmm.
And I have always mentioned it to her, and she's
Creo que
like, no,
era
no.
An
ah,
herbalist?
mamá de abuelito.
Hmm. Hmm.
Y que trabajaba con herbs,
Con
¿no?
hierbas. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Con hierbas. Yeah.
That I know you've told me, but every time you tell me, like I get goosebumps. I don't know. I think that is so cool.
So you're just proud of it.
I
Mhm.
am. I'm proud and I'm scared.
No, see, but you know though what fills me the most is that to know that to right now there's three that are involving into this again, even though she did it differently,
Mm-hmm.
and in her way, um, but that is being brought up again, and the fact that even sometimes with my kids, like I said before, we're always driving,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we, the drives could get bored and then tiring. And with my oldest daughter, she always comes up with these questions. She's like, she had questioned me once. She's like, if if you had if you were to have the opportunity to go back in time, like what time would you go back to?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, cuando ella me preguntó eso, I went, I told her, el tiempo where my great grandmother was around. And she was
Okay.
like, really? I'm like, yep. She's like, why? I'm like, because me knowing now, you know, what she used to do and from what I've been told, I would love to learn from her,
Yeah.
you know, especially because I've been told that she was a witch, her like a green witch is what they call her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when they use herbs, las
Mm-hmm.
plantas, they use
Sí.
plants to
La
cure.
nature. How do you
Hmm.
say that in
And
Spanish? Nutera, no.
Hmm?
Naturaleza. There we go.
Hmm.
Thank you.
So it's like I would love to learn that, and now I get why I am in so in I am zero to the medication.
Mm. Yeah, me too.
I I prefer to drink teas, prefer to find something with a
Hmm.
tea,
Yeah. Home
rather
remedies.
than rather than medication, rather than I don't run to the doctors usually right away. It takes me forever to go to a doctor.
Yeah.
Um,
We know that.
I remember I was given some type of medication for hormones as soon as I started reading the ¿cómo se llama? The side effects,
Mhm.
and it was gonna do this, it was gonna do that. I threw it away. I'm like no, that's why I always said, if I'm gonna die from one thing, I'm gonna die from one thing. I'm not gonna die from
A million other
drinking one
things.
thing to cure one thing, and then it's gonna screw me with another thing because I drank the medication.
Hmm.
Um, but and that's what I told her. I'm like, I would love to go back to that time. Hmm.
That would be so cool. Para preguntarle, like, de a dónde aprendió y cómo supo, and like all these million questions. Like, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that going on around that time period with the herbs and everything. Not so much
Hmm.
anymore. There's very little. You
Yeah.
find very little nowadays. And I personally would love to go back to around that time just because just the stories that I hear about how they used to live before that catches my attention. Sounds so peaceful. I mean, I'm pretty sure they
Hmm.
have bad days like every,
There's. Hmm.
but
Yeah.
like just the way that like they used to like actually live for whatever reason, it sounds so peaceful to me that like whenever my grandfather tells me stories and whatnot, even my dad at a young age, the stuff that he used to do, he used to milk cows and stuff like that. I try to,
Hmm.
I'm like, and it sounds like a different air too. Just the way they
Hmm.
Hmm.
tell their stories and stuff like that. Like whenever I listen to them, I get like this like fresh air. The campo and stuff like that.
Yeah. But definitely going back and getting to know our, abuelita and her her remedies, her ideas, what she encountered and what she learned, and I think that would be so cool. That
Hmm.
would definitely be very interesting. What spells she knew, what, you know, just the type of energy that she's worked with. That would be I had I'm amazed. Like I said, proud
You
and
know,
scared.
but I have been, one of the ladies that had told me as well that she was a, a green is a green witch.
Hmm.
Um, ella me dijo that she told me she's like before going to sleep to ask her for recipes. She's like, and she'll give them to you.
Mm.
But ask me if have I done it.
I should go to bed tonight asking her how to give me recipes to get rid of this damn cough.
There you go.
Mm.
Yeah,
Te va
you
a
should.
decir
A ver
la
qué te
miel y el
dice.
limón, mijito.
I wonder if she'll help me make pozole.
Oh damn.
I think you can just ask your tia and she'll tell you.
I think so too.
But
And
that
she's
still would be
still
nice
alive.
though. You never know.
Yeah, I haven't done it
Yeah.
because I think I'm scared. Like deeply, I think I am scared to actually know that they're able to hear you and to give you that.
But hold on. You say you're scared, right?
Mhm.
Because they will hear you.
Mhm.
But your guide's able to hear you. You know your guides hear you. So how
Mhm.
does that make a difference?
No
Because you ask
sé.
your guides for well, not stuff, but you ask them. Las
Mhm.
preguntas. So like, how does that make a difference? I mean,
Maybe debe de ser porque sus guides fueron a ella, la buscaron a ella para comunicarse de una manera que ella podía interpret. Y pues la
mhm.
abuelita, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know what she looks like.
Yeah. No, 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 no. See?
I,
When
I
you
don't
see in
know.
pictures,
Sí, pero
get
for me to a glimpse.
I
uh-huh.
don't. I know I've seen pictures of her, but I don't remember.
So, es la foto que está en la casa de abuelita Pidia, en donde está el estéreo, esa foto de arriba, donde está con abuelito y, o sea, que están ellos dos. Son ellos. Ella es la abuelita. La
Vamos a tener que
mamá.
hacer un viaje para México
No,
juntos.
no, 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 yo te puedo mandar las fotos.
You
Oh man, I
just
thought
ruined
you were
the
gonna
fun.
take this Mexico
And you
trip.
know, yeah. No, we could still go.
No, no, ahora
And
ya
it's
no. Puedes mandar la
pues es
foto.
okay. That's okay. Mhm. Cuando tratábamos de sacar la foto de abuelita,
Mhm,
the camera
mhm.
wouldn't focus.
Really?
It wouldn't focus. We were
Wow.
having we had like multiple shots where the picture looks really blurry. It wouldn't focus. It's
Maybe no le
interesting.
gustaban las fotos.
Las fotos, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
Pero
I that's a tendency in the family que no le gustan las
no,
fotos.
las fotos.
Yeah.
No.
Not me. I'm always ready. Cheese. Ah, pero eso sí, no soy sosa. Oh man.
Think about it too. I really don't like taking pictures. If you look through my phones, you're not gonna see it. If you see a picture of me, it's with maybe with my son or my kids or with my wife. But sí que me take selfies and stuff like that. Even like to take like pictures like that, I take them just because.
Yeah.
But así que me llama la atención to take pictures. No.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. I I love taking photos. Not I mean, I don't have that many pictures of myself, but I love capturing, para others and um
Technical difficulties, maybe.
yeah, I guess so. Um
Yeah, she just froze out of nowhere.
yeah. Hello. But welcome back, stranger.
I know.
What happened there?
I
I
got
went to
booted out.
Pluto and come back.
Oof.
We get rid of the boot, remember?
um
There
but
she goes again.
oh, is it?
She's trying to go to Pluto.
I
Well, guys, thank you for listening. No Clue podcast. Hope you enjoyed today's conversation. Today basically was anything goes. We really had no idea what we want to talk about today, and we figured let's just make it. Let's just talk about whatever comes up. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to message us on our
yeah.
platforms: TikTok, Instagram. What else?
YouTube, Gmail. Go ahead
Gmail.
and submit your stories as well. What kind of spiritual experiences have you, encountered? Any spooky stories that you want to submit? Go ahead, send them our way. We'll go ahead and read them. We'll make a whole episode just based on these submissions that we receive from y'all. So
yeah, if you guys have any a topic that you guys would like for us to talk about, let us know. We'll try and gather information that we're able to find online or books,
or personal experiences también.
Experiences, yeah. That's the main thing we'll focus on, and then any little extra will be, sources. Well,
thank you again for joining us.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.